excuse me while I do my Tyra Banks.
조금만 낮춰주면 돼. 네, 방송 킬게요.
방송 한다고?
방송 켜야지. 방송 항상 자신의 그 방송을 보면서 반성을 해야 됩니다. 마음은 편하게 가져요. 지금 당장 많이 이기기는 조금 힘든데, 근데 방금 점수 차는 조금 자비가 없긴 없다. 인간적으로 빡치지.
그냥 빡치지 마. 진짜 던져볼 때 너무 열받아가지고 그냥 아무도 그만하고 싶거든요.
근데 그거 포기해도 돼요.
아 진짜요?
예, 그 하다가 진짜 너무 화가 나고 내 자신이 너무 바보 같고 이러면 안 해도 돼.
그러고 싶은데 그냥 참고 있어요.
참고 해. 근데 참고 하는 게 맞아.
매너 지키려고 했는데
매너보다는
이렇게 자기합니다는 거 처음 봤는데 근데 욕을 이렇게
이 파티 음성 나오게 했는데 꺼야 되겠다.
Welcome, everyone, to Phillips Arena. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Hawks, where we'll be broadcasting live today. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Houston Rockets. And Portland starts out with the ball. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Adams is out there with Zach Randolph. Then it's Conley. Then it's Henderson. And it's Lillard in the two spot. Cephalosha kicks to Millsap. Uses the glass to finish the layup. The Hawks offense was a thing of beauty at times to watch last year. They really came together. They epitomized that turn team so well.
You hit it right on the head. I mean, they knew how to find the open man. The ball always ended up in the right spot. And so many of their shots came from assists, second in the league in that category.
That's good.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Hawks on D.
Well, I tell you what, the Hawks were terrific in so many different ways last year offensively. They led the league in catch and shoot points per game. And when you watch video, that's what stands out.
Pass to Cephalosha. Pass to Corver. Out to the right wing. Stolen by Conley. Lillard outside. Back to Adams. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Lillard's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Hawks also led the league in catch and shoot threes per game last season. They have a roster of guys that can knock it down with space and really made the most of it.
Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Lets it go from deep. And he gets it to go. Lillard's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
It's Millsap with the drive. And it's good. Fought through contact. Hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight. And guys, you got to love the front court for these Atlanta Hawks. I mean, Al Horford and Paul Millsap both give up a few inches in terms of height, but you won't find a more skilled and versatile front court in the NBA.
Here's Korver, and the shot is good. And it's a tie ball game.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
And Adams with the slam.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Pass to Korver. And Millsap, here we go. It's stolen by Adams. Here's Lillard. Rips down the breakaway slam.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
The Hawks trail by 4. And stolen by Lillard. And here we go. Oh! Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
Well, Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
For the Hawks, Splitter's checked in for Horford. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. And it's Teague for Kyle Korver. Teague dishes to Schroeder. Can they get it? That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Schroeder's got his first 2 points of the night.
And, you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game.
Lillard, the pass to Randolph. 5 on the clock. And Portland again with the bucket.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Knocked away.
Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I mean, I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles, and that sometimes rubs players the wrong way.
Lillard attacking. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and he'll go to the line. That's on Jeff Teague.
And guys, what I like about Damian Lillard, very decisive with the ball in his hands, always in attack mode. He keeps it hopping, and he has a killer instinct in the clutch.
Mike Scott's checked in for Paul Millsap. And both free throws good for Damian Lillard. Andrew Lillard, he keeps the ball moving, as Greg was talking about. And Clark, he keeps his teammates involved.
Very proficient in the pick and roll, understands the nuances of looking at weak side defenders and getting to the free throw lane for the roll man. He knows all the tricks to make that pick and roll really successful.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
The Hawks trail by 11. Scott kicks to 2.
Oh! And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
And, guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Trailblazers?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Chris Humphries has checked in for the Hawks. Henderson kicks to Conley. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Conley's got 5.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
And they hand it over again.
And this is getting out of hand. I mean, you can't give the basketball away that often and hope to win.
Now here is Conley. He has 5. Right wing. Lillard from outside. And Splitter pulls it down. Portland did a lot of things right last year in their 51-win season. The one constant for them was how they, Greg, played defense.
You know, Kevin, they were good all season long in terms of staying focused on that side of the ball. Really made sure to challenge every shot, and with their length and reach, they should be a factor defensively.
The Hawks trail by 14. Here's Scott. The shot is off. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. Portland moving the ball around. It's stolen by Schroeder. And finished off by Scott.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Portland out in front, leading by 7. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And looking at what we've seen, Trailblazers pretty much in control here.
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and, you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague and Korver are the guards. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3 spot.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
The Hawks shooting their second and third free throws tonight. And he sinks the second.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
Crabbe kicks to Alexander. Millsap with the steal. Inside. And the dunk by Horford.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Well, last season the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta, and they were rewarded with a terrific season. A group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
And Portland making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Back to Miller. He dishes it to Crabbe. He feeds it to Harkless. Just 5 on the clock. Miller kicks to Leonard. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And guys, Myers Leonard really showing signs of progress in last season. Huge steps forward for the big man.
And you know, progress is all about confidence with young players. I mean, his shooting percentages were remarkable when you look at the fact that 50, 40, 90, 50%, 40%, 90% for a 7-footer, unheard of, and he's in that neighborhood.
You know, I think Myers Leonard really finding his niche as a stretch big man. And I think with his size and athleticism, the Blazers had envisioned him making his mark in the paint. But the way he's shooting, though, that they're not going to complain nor try to limit his impact on the game. And, you know, his teammates, Leonard's teammates, encouraged him to just let it fly. So much of the NBA game is confidence. And he's having success putting the ball in the basket. And I think he has a chance to be a very good player.
There's the steal. Miller dishes to Davis. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Davis has got his first bucket of the night. Last season, Portland won the Northwest Division and had a good year, certainly, but they had some issues when they were the away team on the road and away from the Rose Garden. They had some problems.
Yeah, actually played under 500 on the road, Kevin. Something you rarely see out of a team that wins 51 games.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Teague drives in. Here's Millsap. And that one hits back iron.
And as you said with the Blazers, they were the only team to win 50 games and still lose more than they won on the road. Last team to do that was the 2013 Denver Nuggets.
Got it. Good job in the low post. Millsap's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Trailblazers leading by 18.
And we saw a similar first-round exit for the Blazers of that 2013 Nuggets team. If the Blazers want to go deeper this season, they'll need to be much tougher on the road.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Adams, right side. Back to Lillard. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. And Portland has possession. And the basket good. Conley against Teague. To the inside. And it's Millsap. That time on the assist by Teague. Teague's got 4 assists in the game. Conley against Teague. Lillard with no one around. Connects from 3-point range. Lillard's got 5 points now this quarter.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Yeah, 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
Stolen by Randolph. And now running up the court, Lillard pushing it up. Randolph kicks to Lillard. And it's sent back by Horford. And it's Korver off the drive. Teague the pass to Millsap. And Gerald Henderson is going to pick up that foul. That's his first foul. On defense, Portland. Horford kicks to Korver. A second chance effort. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. And that's really the change in our game. It's the overall athletic ability. I love those point guards that can throw it down.
Well, you've talked about that. That's a dose of the modern NBA, Greg. That kind of aerial ability isn't limited now to just the front court anymore.
That's exactly right.
You know, I look at it this way, guys. It seems to me there are more high flyers at guard than anywhere else in the league these days.
Scotty's checked in for Atlanta. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Teague with the ball. Horford high post. To the paint. Takes it off the glass.
And you look at Horford's game offensively. His mid-range jump shot is as pure as it gets. You got to say, he's probably in that Dirk Nowitzki territory from out there as far as accuracy. Doesn't possess the range that Dirk has, but from mid-range, as good as it gets. Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it. That is a very low percentage shot, Kevin, but it's the result they were looking for at the end of the day.
And Horford takes about half his shots, Clark, from mid-range. He is so reliable. It's still a high-value shot for him.
And, you know, I think he started to shoot the three-pointer as well, Kevin. And if he adds that to his package, watch out. He'll be even more dangerous offensively because that mid-range is automatic.
The Atlanta making some changes. Splitter comes in for Al Horford. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Kyle Korver. Teague can't hit. Lillard attacking. Feeds to Adams. No one near Conley as he lets it go. And the Trailblazers, another three.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight. Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
The kick out to T. To the wing on the left. Looking to end the run. Bazemore misses.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Kicks it out to Lillard. Now here's Henderson. Not a lot of room. Outside Conley. 5 to shoot. Three-pointer Lillard. Rebound Atlanta.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
Here's Adams. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putback.
And Jay, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow.
Yep, he stayed with it all the way and got his reward at the end.
And that one's good by Henderson.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
Randolph in the post, defended by Scott. Randolph can't hit.
Another shot from outside. They're not attacking. I mean, going in and seeking contact like they did in the first one, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, you can't play the score, Clark. You have to play your game. They need to mix it up a little bit here.
And the Hawks making a change here. Humphries checked in.
And Kent Bazemore, the long-armed lefty out of Old Dominion, where he was the Division I Defensive Player of the Year back in 2011. A 5-year senior. He graduated with 2 degrees, one in criminal justice, the other in human services.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Hawks were so dominant last year and were the first team to clinch their spot in the postseason.
Hawks also would wrap up the top seed in the East and were able to advance against the Nets in 6 games.
So for the Trailblazers, about 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Miller dishes to Harkless. The pass to Crabbe. Miller kicks to Davis. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Leonard. Portland again missing. Got a piece of it. Harkless with the steal. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
And just a nice combination of size and feel there. Terrific finish down low.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Trailblazers out in front, running away with it. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
He was just like a jitterbug out there. I mean, disrupting passes, getting his hands on a lot of balls, forcing turnovers and steals. Just a solid job all the way around.
Like to watch him play like that. Makes the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Greg Anthony in the day. A jitterbug or maybe a gnat with the kind of nuisance he's been as far as defending. Excellent work at that end of the floor for him.
And Kevin, Clark's the only guy I know that can call you a gnat and mean it as a compliment.
And make you feel good about it. Yeah,
I appreciate that, Clark.
It's good, Clark. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Lillard has been playing really well. He has 23 points, and he's drained 3 three-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this.
Here's who Terry Stotts is starting the second half with. Miller is out there with Alan Crabbe. Then there's Myers Leonard. Then there's Davis. And it's Harkless in the small forward position.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Cephalosha kicks to Horford. Outside Millsap. Portland grabs the miss.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories. Rebounds just being one of them.
Schroeder with the ball. And it's Miller picking him up. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. The dish to Horford. Kicks it to Millsap. Stolen by Conley. The feed to Adams. Lillard, the pass to Adams. Shot from 12. Knocks it loose.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Outside Millsap. Connects on the 17-footer. Millsap's got 12.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole. And guys, one thing you sometimes gets lost. I mean, Mike Conley is a proven winner. Remember, you go back in high school, won 3 state titles, and the one season at Ohio State led them to the national title game. So that aspect of what he brings, the intangibles, you're going to be a winner if Mike Conley's on your roster.
And the Hawks making a change here. Teague's checked in. Cephalosha kicks to Millsap. And stolen by Lillard. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Randolph can't hit. And for Mike Conley, growing up, he played on some tremendously talented teams. Guys like Greg Oden, Josh McRoberts, his teammates.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, he never had to really look for his own offense to win games with those kind of players around him. He came into the league more focused on setting up his teammates, and that's what he does well.
Lillard attacking. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard. Scotty's checked in for Atlanta. Looking at Portland, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland. On the wing, Korver. Can't hit. Nice D from Lillard.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
And that one's good.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
On the wing, Korver. The kick out to Teague. Tries to save it. And it's out of bounds to the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession. Stolen by Randolph. Here's Lillard. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
You know what? That man can climb a ladder. Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
From about 19 feet. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's going to be on Kyle Korver. Damian Lillard is a 2-time All-Star. He just keeps getting better and better, and I love his demeanor on the floor. He seems a lot older than he really is.
Yeah, he's got an old head, and he's got a very even-keeled disposition about him, which serves him well. He almost missed the All-Star game last season and was an injury replacement.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for Thabo Cephalosha. Lillard against Korver. Lillard attacking, and he gets it to go. Lillard's got 8 points in the quarter.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Here's Korver for 3. Portland grabs the miss. Adams has got 6 rebounds in the game.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Korver kicks to Teague. Left side, Korver. Just 5 to shoot. Horford dishes to Scott. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And Mike Scott, a former second-round draft pick who has carved out a role here in the NBA the last 2 seasons, Clark. He was a major contributor off the bench.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tweener, you know, not big enough to maintain position down low on a consistent basis and not quick enough to really be a three-man or small forward, but what he can do is get to the basket, rebound okay, and knock down the deep shot.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Splitters checked in for Horford. And Chris Humphries subbed in for Kyle Korver. Teague kicks to Splitter. It's stolen by Davis. Miller outside to the middle. Davis, the pass to Crabbe. Dishes to Harkless. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. And he jams it with authority.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne. And getting back to Mike Scott, his three-point percentage and attempts have increased each year he's been in the league. With a high, quick release, he's capable of making tough shots with a hand in his face in a way other players simply can't.
In the corner, Bazemore with it. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Bazemore's got 7 points in the game. Here's Harkless. Miller outside. It's stolen by Teague. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. And he drops it in from the low post. He's got 9.
You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot, and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
Miller outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot is off, and it's the Hawks taking it the other way.
You know, guys, we were talking about Scott shooting from downtown, but he can also score from mid-range, pick and pop off the dribble. When he's able to square his shoulders, he's deadly. I mean, he's a versatile big guy with a nice shooting touch.
Outside Leonard. From the arc. That drops. Leonard's got 7.
What are you going to do defensively? Such separation with the height advantage in that matchup.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there. What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, Clark, angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and an angry punch.
And that's what makes the alley-oop such a terrific play when you're able to execute it.
Outside, Davis. And he drops in the layup off the glass. He's got 10.
That's exactly why you don't leave your feet until the shooter elevates. He went for that pump fake, hook, line, and sinker.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Portland out in front, running away with this one. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And for Portland, they're shooting so well, 63%, the offense working as one cohesive unit. They've got Muscala, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Humphries. Then there's Heinrich. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Humphries dishes to Schroeder. Back to Humphries. Pass to Miller. The tray. Kirk Heinrich with the rebound. Atlanta's shooting has been fun to watch in this game. They're at 57%. Hardaway kicks to Muscala. There's the killer two-handed slam.
He power surged that one down. Wow.
Yeah, good term to use. One of the game's top dunkers for sure.
Folks, that's not a petty, not a Manny. That's a facial.
Miller with a screen on Hardaway. Shot clock at 6. Here's Crab. Guarded by Heinrich. Crab, good.
Well executed possession. They controlled the shot. Nicely done.
Schroeder passes to Muscala. It's stolen by Davis. Pass to Crab. He kicks it to Harkless. Portland moving the ball around. And Leonard gets it to go.
For 3.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Trailblazers.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Seems every season, Clark, you hear the same thing. Portland Trailblazers had to deal with some tough injuries.
Kevin, it appears as though it might actually be a curse. I don't like to use that word, but the history of this team and injuries is as unique as any in the league. Last year, no different.
Randolph in the posts. He's against Humphries. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending. And that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Lillard from outside. Can't get it to go. And Atlanta will come the other way.
And still looking for his first triple of the second half. He had 3 at halftime.
And for the international rules of goaltending, players are allowed to touch the ball after it hits the iron, even if it is over the cylinder.
I'm not sure if the NBA is going to adapt that rule, but I think it wouldn't be a big deal to adapt it because there aren't a lot of times that play happens in the game. I think it would be a small percentage of those plays over the course of the season.
Conley for 3. Portland no good that time either. Hardaway with it. Lillard picks him up. Muscala. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
It's tipped and stolen by Lillard. And he dunks it in right on Chris Humphries. Oh, man. Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
My goodness, that was almost a circus-like dunk.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
Tabo Cephalosha has checked in for the Hawks.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Hawks have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Here's Muscala, covered by Lillard. Heinrich from outside. And it's blocked by Adams. 3-on-3. And Lillard kicks to Adams to the left side wing. Conley with the three. Another miss by Conley.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4 seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4 seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the great Tim Hardaway Sr., had a very good rookie season. However, last season, Clark, not the improvement that some were hoping to see out of him.
Kevin, you knew the expectations were going to be high going forward, very high. But sometimes you step back before you move forward. He only shot 39% last season, very low for a guy of his caliber.
Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
To the wing right side. Up top, Humphries. Down low. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, this is nothing new. There is some debate on how successful max contracts have been in the NBA. A lot of players have demanded max contract money, but haven't lived up to the pay. And in my opinion, there are only about 15 guys worthy of max contracts in the league in any given year.
Heinrich dishes to Hardaway. Passes it to Splitter. And that one is hammered home.
Oh, good D, but better O. It's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well said. Well, for the most part, they were just standing still, Clark.
Yeah. And you know what, Kevin? He's not the most explosive player on the court, but if you give him a clear lane to the basket, he'll punch it on you.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Well, we were talking about max contracts. There are arguments to their benefits. Commissioner Adam Silver said last year that he feels they help with parity. What do you think?
You know, for the most part, I do believe he's correct. I mean, they do help with parity. For guys like LeBron and Durant, let's face it, the big max contract can be a hindrance. They're probably considered to be worth far more than they're paid. But it's going to be something that is debated back and forth throughout the next negotiations for the CBA. And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Here's Crabbe. Rebound, Atlanta.
Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively and then closed it out with the rebound.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Heinrich against Conley. Here's Splitter, and the layup is good. Splitter's got 8 points here in this quarter.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Portland.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Lillard. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Feeds it to Crabbe. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. And finished off by Scott.
And they're on the kind of run that could have made a difference had it just started a little earlier.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they're on this run is because the defense has relaxed a little bit, knowing the game is basically in the bag.
Heinrich with it. Conley picks him up. Leonard with the steal. .23 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And Heinrich gets it to go.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
Well, this one is winding down now. Portland can watch the clock run out. Conley's shot is off. Now, here is Humphries. Leonard with the steal. Davis can't get it to fall. And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know,